What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. This is your Monday mailbag for the week. We got about 30 pieces of mail to get through. I've been organizing all the mail that I've gotten previously. Look at, I can't show you, I guess, but it is a ridiculous amount of mail. The response has been overwhelming, but we've been getting to each and every single letter, and I'm hoping that we'll get to continue that. Let's try to get it all done tonight. Really excited, so let's get started. A couple of weeks back, category manager at SteelSeries, who works with headsets, sent me a tremendous collection of SteelSeries stuff that I want to show off this week. It's Flux in-ear. These I've been carrying around my 3DS, and I really, really like them. This SteelSeries Siberia headset, which I'm trying to get to work with my PS3. It's not doing it just yet. This awesome World of Warcraft mouse, which I have not busted out yet, but I can't wait to set it up. And this is my favorite. He told me a story about this. The Diablo 3 headset, which looks very cool. Very similar to the Siberia ones. I've had all of these out except the WoW mouse and messed around with them a little bit. He said that my Era 37 got passed around a lot at SteelSeries. Those guys are a big fan of me. After getting a chance to play with your products this week, I'm a big fan of you guys too. Thanks so much for including this stuff for me. I really appreciate it. And of course, my favorite part of the week is, as usual, the postcard. So let's get right to them. This is from Polynesia, that was sent to me from a fan in Louisiana. This one is from Quebec. This one also sent from Josh from Louisiana, but it's of Walt Disney World. I never got to go to Disney World. I hope to eventually. This very cool one from Iowa, where the corn grows. Corn. Could go for some corn. Alaska. I love Alaska. I love Alaska. I love everything about Alaska. Cows, the Isle of Wight. And this is my favorite postcard I got this week, maybe of all time. Came from Texas. And it's Princess Leia, Star Wars. Can't beat it. I was very excited to see this letter in the mail. It came from a Shane Sanders here in Arkansas. He told me his life story, and it's pretty tragic. He's dealt with depression, drug use. He's been in and out of jail. He's dealt with a lot more than most of us ever will. He says now, at the point that he's in his life, he is both depressed. He constantly thinks about turning back to drugs. He's working hard every day. He even thinks about taking himself out. He's attempted suicide before, and he thinks about doing it again now. Shane, I want to let you know that it probably will get better. And in fact, for most of us, it does. I think if you continue on the path that you're doing now, working hard every day, creating YouTube videos for fun, working on gaming and using escape mechanisms to learn how to deal with your depression, you stay off the drugs, you work as hard as you can, one of two things is guaranteed to happen. Either time will pass and your eventual death will catch up with you. We're all going to die one day. But maybe, just maybe, you can find a little bit of happiness. And Shane, you included a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll probably end up writing you back. But if I don't, I hope you see this. Stay strong. I believe in you. Right now, you don't have a lot going for you. You got a half-decent job. You've got some willpower to stay off of the drugs. And you're staying out of jail and keeping your nose clean. I think that's all you can do for now. Keep working. Good things will come to you. I promise. Unfortunately, I had a lot of trouble reading the handwriting on this package, but I got this package in the mail from Hormler Glen, Illinois, and it came with a variety of stuff. I think this person had around the room, including this very cool shark, a shark's tooth necklace, which I really, really like, actually. A Batmobile, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Playmat, but of course my favorite, Boba Fett. Also the snake. This snake. Oh god, it's alive! Ha! 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 I got a letter from Corey B, and he included this awesome EB Games volleyball bag, and inside it is his entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection, which is just, it's too much, but I really appreciate the gesture. He said even this deck he used to kick his friend's ass. He also wrote me a letter, and his letter reads, "Simply put, your videos have helped mold me into a calloused, from a calloused, numb human being into a more and more caring person. It's exactly why we do these videos. It's exactly why we create these things. It's exactly why we answer these emails. So Corey B, I appreciate it. Thank you. Angelo Mike, a filmmaker from Arlington, Virginia, sent in this Chocobo bank. Very cool. He said he's had it for over 10 years, and I'm so glad that it's in my bank collection now. He says that with my permission, he'd like to make a YouTube poop of Francis. I got to admit, I'm more than glad to see you do it. In fact, I kind of wonder why there's not more YouTube poops of me. Please make some. I can't wait to see it. Let me know when you do. Elizabeth S. sent me something I have never seen before in my life. It was a puzzle postcard. Fortunately, she sent it all put together for me. She said she picked it up when she was in Oregon, but it came from Salem. And now... now I get to put it together. Nate from Climax, Minnesota wrote me an awesome letter tonight about being bullied after being moved ahead from 2nd grade to 3rd grade. He said that he expressed himself as a teenager in his sexual ways, and that many people did not like the fact that he did not like his sexuality and did not like who he was. But he said that he found my videos at a time that he was so depressed he was considering suicide, opted not to do it, and has since found a way to love who he is and the things that he loves. And people around him have learned to accept him from it. And it just serves to me as a reminder, as an excuse to remind you all that no matter what you are, no matter how you are, no matter what you're into, be true to yourself. Accept yourself. And as long as you're not harming anyone else, eventually you'll find, if you learn to love yourself, eventually you'll find someone to love you too. And it looks like Nate has done so. Good job, Nate. Thanks for staying strong. I got a letter from a gentleman by the name of James. Calls himself Tweety Peeps as his internet name. He says he's grateful that he discovered my channel. He was born with a rare syndrome called EEC. He says it caused him to have deformed feet and hands, both missing toes and fingers. His hands are fairly similar to each other, though. He has various other problems relating to the condition. But he says as of the last 6 years, he's really made a lot of strides into accepting who he is and deciding to love his life anyway. And he said that I was instrumental towards making those change. Tweety Peeps, I really appreciate you sharing your letter. You also mentioned that you might make a YouTube video or channel sometime. I'd love to see what you create. If you could tweet it to me, and tweet it to me several times. You're called Tweety Peeps. You have to have Twitter, right? I'd love to see it. Talk to you soon. This drawing comes from a gentleman by the name of, and I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly, Reminder Mundi. He says to please call him a son of a bitch. You are a son of a bitch, by the way. He also sent me this coin. I can't seem to make it out. Anybody know what that is? This boogie portrait comes from Loveline from California. Luke from Quebec wrote me and wrote a very beautiful letter. He says he has used my channel to help him find hope. Hope for me was something big. And I'm not talking about optimization, which is hope that lets you sit on the sidelines or run away from a fight, but hope, the stubborn bitch inside all of us, what makes us continue working and reaching for the better, besides all the evidence to the contrary. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, fat, skinny, young, old, able, disabled, gay, straight, you have the power to become whatever you want if you're willing to work for it, and it gets better, I promise. Very inspiring words, Luke. Also, Luke, I want to let you know that when I received your letter, I know you included a special $1 coin. Unfortunately, someone in the Postal Service stole it. Your letter came with a hole in it. Shame on whoever that was. These awesome drawings come from Hunter Butler. I do like this one, but my favorite, Francis After the Apocalypse. Thank you, Hunter. Dennis sent me some cards from Vanguard. First time I've ever seen these cards, actually. Very cool. Very shiny. Love the art on these. I love them a lot. He also wrote me this poem. The sky is blue, the river is green, the beavers in the water love to sing, the goats go baa, while the birdies go cheep. We love what we see under your shirt. What? Alistair from Indiana sent me these magic cards, says because he knew I loved magic. My favorite thing, though, is I realized there's a cool interaction between these two cards. Magic players, isn't that kind of cool? A girl named Michelle from Deltona, Florida, sent me this letter. Very cool stationery. She wrote to say that she has this friend who she calls Tater. They got made fun of for his weight by a thin kid. In class, the kid would call Tater a fat ass, and if Tater had food, the kid would tell him to give him the food because Tater didn't need it. This went on for weeks before I finally snapped. I got up from my desk, shoved it in the kid's face, and started yelling at him for how disrespectful he was. I was so mad I almost cried. Since then, the thin kid has moved away, and Tater seems to be doing just fine. Michelle, I want to say that I think it's fantastic that you stood up for someone around you who is being bullied. That is the key to ending bullying. And if anybody's watching here and you see somebody getting picked on and being made fun of, stand up for them. Stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. I'm so glad that you did, and I hope that you inspire other people to do the same. A young man named Tyler from Florida sent me a collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In fact, he organized them in a way that's spelled Francis. Very cool. He says this is, in fact, the very first letter he's ever written. I'm really glad to know that the art of letter writing is getting passed on to the next generation, and I'm glad that I can be one of the reasons that you guys do it. He also drew us this idea for the next Spider-Man film. If you can't read that, it says, "Good job, son. You know, this is where I first climbed. It's Arachnochild." Now, that's a good movie idea. Chris Rogers from Nova Scotia wrote me to say that he's been following my videos since about 2007, 2008. He said the very first video he ever saw was me eating McDonald's French fries. Now, that is ancient history. He said he's really glad that he's been able to watch my channel grow up. He said something that really struck me, though. He says he's an ex-WoW player and proud of it, even though he doesn't game anymore. But he keeps running into prejudice of gamers, even though gaming is how he met some of the best people he's ever known. I just want to let you know that the best people I've ever known, I've met through gaming, and I wouldn't change a thing. This is Josh from Michigan, and he opened sent a couple of booster packs, which we'll open up in just a minute. Thanks so much for those. But something from his letter I wanted to read. He said, the past few years have been stressful. I've been working hard at trying to get into graduate school for physical therapy. It's been a very rocky road, and my stats have been right at the borderline for getting into school. In summer of 2011, I had the harsh reality that I was not able to even apply because my grades were just barely under the minimum required. However, your videos kept me inspired. They taught me to never give up on my dreams. This was something I was passionate about and determined to achieve. I took the initiative and spoke with an advisor and found out that I still had a chance if I retake a semester's worth of classes. I did just that, and I'm proud to say that with hard work and inspiration for your videos, I was able to get 4.0s in all 3 of the classes I retook. 2012 rolls around, and I discovered that I'm finally able to apply. And long story short, he made it into his top choice school, or one of his top choices, the University of Michigan in Flint. I'm so proud of you, dude. That is really what it's all about. Never giving hope, even when your chances are slim, pushing through and making the best of your life. I'm proud of you. Now for my favorite part. Ooh! In the first pack, a Council of the Absolute and a foil Skylasher. Wow. Notion Thief. Thanks so much for the cards, dude, and I'm so glad I was able to get you into Magic. So glad. Connor, who wrote us last week, sent us in these 2 Japanese Pokemon cards. I believe that's a Zubat and a Beedrill. And these awesome 9 Tails Pokemon dog tags. Thanks, man. From Alexander Bartlett, we got this awesome postcard from St. Louis and a really nice pillowcase. Amanda sent us this postcard, her very first one from an airport in America. She says she's in a long-distance relationship. The very last time she had to depart from her boyfriend, she watched a bunch of our LOL videos. I'm glad I can make you guys laugh. Long distance is hard. Make the best of it. This incredibly detailed Skyrim poster comes from Connor Jeffries. Thank you, Connor. Cheyenne sent in some pictures of her and her husband's wedding day. What a beautiful couple. Most notably, the groom's cake, which is, I believe, shaped like a Dungeons and Dragons playmat. I think this is Faerun, if I'm not mistaken, and included one of the D20s from the cake. How cool is that? Wow. 19. Sarah, she works for a little website called jump2gamer.com, sent me certainly the most random thing this week. A copy of the movie Poseidon? I guess I'll watch it. The guys at Triple Crown Games in Southern California sent me a buttload of Vanguard stuff, including some starter stuff, a manga about it, some boosters, and I guess this is a game I'm also going to have to try. They seem very, very cool. Triple Crown team, J.R. Silva, Steve, Arturo, Franco, Nachia, Mark, Sue, and Khan. And of course they send me my favorites. Another booster of Magic. Ooh. Mirko Voss. I'm afraid I'm not pronouncing this correct, but Nicholas Helm from Oslo sent us this collection of postcards. This is some sort of skip it. I'm not sure. I wrote on the back on the back of this one, Ice Ice Baby. Norway is famous for its beautiful fjords made over thousands of years by powerful glaciers carving stones like butter. Very cool. 17th of May is our celebration of the 1844 Constitution after 400 years under Danish rule. Denmark lost Norway to Sweden. After the Napoleon Wars in 1905, we became truly independent. Very cool. And Arctic Norway is famous for its northern lights and sun 24 hours, 7 days a week during the summer. Beautiful. Thanks for the postcards. Seamus from Florida sent me this Steelbox version of 007 for the Xbox 360, and he sent me a Brofist. Taylor wrote in to say that he's led a relatively hard life. He lost both of his parents even before the age of 10. He said he missed a lot of school and had a lot of trouble recovering, but after finding my videos on YouTube, he was able to get back out there and start working harder and every single day. And Taylor, I'm so proud of you, man. I'm glad that you're really making it happen. Taylor also included this awesome collection of oversized World of Warcraft trading cards. So in love with this collection. Thank you so much, Taylor. These are now some of my favorite possessions. Well, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, that will wrap it up. This is your Monday mailbag for the week. As always, if you're interested in sending me a letter or a message or a small token, you can do it by checking out the address in the info box below. Thanks so much. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy the letters. It takes a lot of time out of my day, but it is worth every minute. I can't wait to hear from you. Talk to you soon.